So to the surprise of absolutely no one, The Mandalorian and Grogu is Disney's lowest ever Star Wars film opening this weekend. I think everybody knew this was going to happen for a variety of reasons, but this movie made pretty good money for, I mean, pretty much any tentpole franchise, but not Star Wars. It didn't make Star Wars levels of money, and it did come in under Solo. And we're going to kind of look at the, I guess, post-mortem for this. Now, I do think as the word of mouth gets out that the movie doesn't suck, because I don't think it sucks. You don't think
it didn't suck. No.
I know some people thought it sucked, and that's fine. You're allowed to think it sucked, but it's not bad. It's a 2-hour episode of the TV show, but it's really not a bad movie.
I mean, as long as you go into it with your expectations being that some people are trying to argue.
Floor.
Well, I was gonna say, as long as no. See, people keep arguing that it wasn't a TV show. It's a 2-hour episode of a TV show.
Yeah,
it is like the next season of The Mandalorian. If you go in with those expectations, then you'll be fine. If you go in the expectations it's a Filoni-verse, you'll be fine. I think just as long as you temper expectations, then it won't be that bad. And there's a lot of positive things about it too, like the space scenes and stuff, battles.
I love the opening, and I said that in the review. I love the opening. It was just like balls to the wall actions. Basically, Mando doing everything you thought Boba Fett would be doing.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning,
yeah. But Mandalorian was originally supposed to be the Boba Fett movie, and they changed it into a show. So. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a terrible movie, but it wasn't. It's too little, too late, because people are over the Mandalorian and Grogu. You had season 1, you had season 2, it did great. You could have done it then, and it would have done phenomenal. But then you had a big gap in time, and then season 3, which was absolute crap, and now you're out like years out, and people just like don't even think about Baby Yoda anymore.
No,
and it is what it is.
Yeah, so we'll talk about this. This, like we even said before. This start, and like people are gonna be like, you're making excuses for Disney, Clownfish. No, actually, we said before, this one is not going to be a good litmus test of where Star Wars is. I think as a brand and as a Star Wars movie, because remember, this is basically just an episode of the TV show, a couple episodes of the TV show. And I think what really is going to be the tell as to whether Star Wars is viable is Starfighter, because that's new. That's new Star Wars. Well, I'm hearing,
There's rumors that this is going to tie directly into the new Rey film.
I hope to God they're
about
not
Rey
that dumb.
And about this kid getting sent to Rey's Jedi Academy.
Rey's
and
Jedi
if they
Academy.
do that, kiss it goodbye. If you do that, Disney, kiss it goodbye. I'm telling you right now.
Is that like the Sally Struthers school for Force sensitives? Do you want to be a Jedi? Sure, we all do. Can you move brooms with your mind? Sure, we all can. Come on down to Sally Struthers Correspondence.
That's Rey's
Correspondence Force School.
If that turns out to be true, you just destroyed your box office right there.
Yeah, if you tie it into the sequel. Okay, the one takeaway from this I hope Disney gets is if you stay away from the sequels, you'll probably be fine. If you go back to the sequel well, which people absolutely hate, and it seems like Disney is actively shunning the sequels at this point, if you go back to that, you're screwed. You need to just stay the hell away from the sequels. Don't tie like a standalone Starfighter movie with Ryan Gosling. If it's good and it's solid, and everybody likes Ryan Gosling now, and they love Project Hail Mary, that could be money in the bank. But as soon as you tie it into Rey, you're done.
Yeah, that's why when I saw that, I'm like, and people in the comments are like, well, if you do that, it's all rumor. But if you do that, no, you're toast.
She's radioactive. Anyway, let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Go out to more.clownfishtv.com. That's more.clownfishtv.com for more Clownfish TV you will not see here on YouTube. You'll not hear on YouTube. We've got podcasts and exclusive episodes out there, so check it out, and thank you for the support. All right, everybody's talking about CNBC. The Mandalorian and Grogu is Disney's lowest ever Star Wars film opening. Disney's. Want to put a little asterisk there, because I know I mentioned it before, but the Clone Wars pilot, which was also multiple episodes of a TV show about saving Rada the Hutt. The Clone Wars pilot did abysmal business opening weekend. It was like $14 million for the whole weekend because people are like, Star Wars cartoon? What? Like what? Yeah. But then Clone Wars became this like beloved cult thing, you know? So whatever. So yeah, here we go. Walt Disney's Star Wars. It's not Walt's. Walt's dead. Disney Co's Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu tallied an estimated 82 million in domestic ticket sales through its first 3 days in theaters. But this is Memorial Day.
Yeah.
So now it's special. So now a weekend is like 5 or 6 days.
It's going to be 4 days. It's still going to come in. It depends who you ask. Some people say it's like 90 something million. Other people say it's like 102 million. It depends who you ask. But 82 million was below, I believe, the 3 days.
Yeah,
for Solo.
they were.
And people were boycotting Solo.
Yes, people were. So Solo paid the price for The Last Jedi being dog shit, is what happened.
Well, I don't think people wanted to see Han Solo recast as somebody
They want
else.
to see Solo recast. I thought Solo was okay. We went to go see it, and I was like, oh, that actually felt like Star Wars. It wasn't a complete pile of suck, but
it had its issues. But yeah,
it had issues. It was weird that literally everything even mentioned in passing throughout the entire original trilogy, Han Solo did in the span of about 2 days.
Yeah, that's true.
Like literally everything. Oh, he was an Imperial, or he was, part of the Empire. Okay, cool. We're going to do that. Oh, he won the Falcon. Okay, we're going to do that. Oh, the Kessel Run. Yeah, we'll do that. Meets Chewie. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do all these things in like the span of 2 days. I thought that was a little weird, but
that was
whatever.
A little weird.
It's the lowest opening haul for a Star Wars title ever released by Disney. However, the company isn't just relying on ticket sales. Other avenues for revenue include merchandise, streaming, and theme parks. And
that's the excuse.
That's always
the excuse right there.
The excuse. Yes.
We meant to do that because we know we'll make more money when people sign up for Disney Plus. It's totally good. We're not going to fail.
Well, I think might have been The Guardian. Actually, The Guardian said that they kind of expected this. Disney expected it to do.
I think they did too. It's not been tracking. That's why do you think they've been spending all the extra money on marketing? Like, to me, it seems like more throwing good money after bad because you already knew it wasn't going to do great because they keep promoting and promoting. But they were desperately trying to get people into the theater to try to offset the losses. And I don't know if they're going to get their money back when you consider promotion too. Not at least theatrically.
Yeah. So they're saying that it did for the weekend, for the Memorial Day weekend, 4 days.
No, it's Monday now.
Yeah, well, they're going by, this is estimated. Now, sometimes that goes up and down. They're saying 102 million, which is especially when you adjust for inflation, lower than Solo. So they said Sunday estimates indicate the film based on the hit Disney Plus show, The Mandalorian, the hit from 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, it was a hit when it first came out. It wasn't a hit. It hasn't been a hit for a while. That last one, last season was not good.
It surpassed initial box office projections, tallying 82 million. Surpassed initial box office projections. Did it? Tallying 82 million in domestic ticket sales through the first 3 days in theaters. Official numbers will be released on Monday.
Now, if it hits 103 million, it's going to tie with Solo because Solo did 103 million. So it's close.
Yeah. While Mando and Grogu outpaced the 80 million that most analysts predicted, it so far tallied less than Solo, which at 84 million was the previous lowest opening Star Wars project in the era of Disney Star Wars releases.
So it's close, though. It's on par with Solo.
Yeah, analysts foresee the film exceeding 100 million domestically for the 4-day Memorial Day holiday weekend. Internationally, The Mandalorian and Grogu snapped up around 63 million, which is lower than they thought. They thought it was going to do better. Star Wars, just historically, though, I think other than Japan, it doesn't do gangbusters overseas.
UK and stuff too, usually.
Yeah, I'm talking about like China. Never. They were trying really hard. I remember with the sequels, they were trying so hard to get the sequels to stick.
Rogue One too.
Yeah. Well, they cast the one Chinese actor as the
which he was the best part of the movie.
He was great. But they did that. There was this whole era, and we're going to see this, especially in the rearview mirror in like 10 years. You're going to go back and look at all these Hollywood movies. You're like, boy, isn't it weird that they just like go to China for no reason? Like Transformers. Transformers. I was thinking the second Independence Day, they're working with China. Like you can tell they were just any excuse they could get to get Chinese stars.
Well, it wasn't just that. They got Chinese money.
Well, yeah, but they knew that the film would get the green light in China. The CCP would let it in if it had Chinese stars in it and that the Chinese audiences would go see it. So it was like this whole, it was very, very weird. It was very obvious. Like Transformers, the one Transformers movie was the most obvious because Transformers movies really were declining here in the US, but they made, crazy money overseas. So they specifically had a whole thing where like, we're going to go to China. The factory for the Transformers is in China. And here's a close up of this, presumably a Chinese star, but Americans don't know who it is, but we have to make sure we get a big close up like, oh my God, it's a cameo by so-and-so that we don't know who it is over here. And then they did that with the third Pirates of the Caribbean movie too. They had her become the head of the Chinese pirates because the pirates movies are huge in China. So, but anyway, there we go. But yeah, Star Wars never took off. So they said the film benefited from premium large format screens like IMAX and Dolby Cinema, as 41% of tickets were sold for the upgraded, more expensive showings. That is interesting. 41% of the... So
you're going to want to watch like space battles and ships and stuff on a big screen. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Space battles and ships and shit. Yeah, standard tickets for the film average $16.01 a piece. Premium tickets... Oh, God, this is so like... bleh. The film's box office isn't the only metric that Disney will be keeping an eye on. The company's strategy doesn't rely on ticket sales, has other avenues for revenue growth, including merchandise.
Well, the ticket sales are interesting, though, because basically what I'm reading here in this, between the lines, is less people went, but the tickets cost more for those theaters. So they made more money, but it's probably fewer people went to watch it.
I would
that's what I'm gathering.
Yeah, because they're like, okay, because most of the people that are the diehard Star Wars fans are going to go see it in IMAX, and this is actually going to hurt Doomsday because they're not getting IMAX.
Well, no, because Disney's going to give special, certification to theaters to make them almost as good as IMAX because they said so.
Almost all Max. I don't know.
It's the same experience as IMAX because they said so.
It's IMAX because they said so. It's almost as good as IMAX. And they'll charge more. They'll charge
it's not IMAX.
I can't believe it's not IMAX. Yeah, it should be like imitation IMAX, like IMAX. But yeah, that's gonna hurt Doomsday. I think Doomsday is gonna do really well though, even if it's just nothing but a cameo fest. I think it's gonna do well. This one though, it was definitely more diehard Star Wars fans went to go see it. And
but
there are
fewer than what you normally for a movie, because it was mostly going to be an IMAX on these upgraded theaters that charge more per ticket. So they get more per ticket, but that means there's fewer people that went than on average for a normal movie.
what I would like to see, and this was in 3D too, apparently, because they had our theater had the 3D screens. I'm like, do they still do 3D? Like, does anybody go see 3D? Like, they'll go see IMAX, but do people go see 3D? I don't know. But I would like to see them start breaking down like the number of seats sold. Like when you give,
they never tell you that. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I want to see, because they just kind of throw it all in. Like, I want to see how many individual seats were sold for each movie in addition to the box office. Because if you start to see because you remember the ticket prices are higher now too. Mm-hmm. And total revenue, and then they're like, oh, they made total revenue. AMC made so much money. It's like, yeah, and they sold popcorn buckets and stuff, $80.
Do they count? I don't know if they count that into this.
No, but they're talking like record revenue for some of these theater chains like AMC and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's a popcorn bucket.
Oh my gosh, Masters of the Universe, they have like so many things that people are buying them up now because it's going to be insane.
Some people, I think, they just go in and buy the popcorn bucket and leave. I don't think
they do. I mean, people are doing that now. They're like, because the movie's not out yet. But some of the theaters put them out early, and they're going and buying it and then leaving. Same with, I know people were buying up all the Mandalorian popcorn buckets and going to the theaters. They already saw the movie. They're just going to buy the bucket and leaving. But yeah.
What was funny though? I mean, I don't know, it was funny, haha. But what was funny was the Walker popcorn bucket. I don't know if that's nationwide, but our theater was $80.80. So AT.
I think some people said it was 75 at other places, but yeah, AT was funny.
88. Yeah. $80 for a Walker popcorn bucket. You can buy like an actual like Walker toy for less than that. We bought a vintage Walker for like $45 not too long ago. Mm-hmm. That was insane. This comes from The Guardian. The Mandalorian and Grogu has lowest box office opening for a Star Wars film in Disney era. So they're calling it out. They said film starring Pedro Pascal for like 5 minutes. Next to Baby Yoda took $165 million globally on opening weekend, failing to surpass the opening of 2018 flop Solo. Now they're all going to say Solo cost a lot more money. Solo was $300 million. The only reason Solo was $300 million is because they had to reshoot like 3/4 of the movie.
But here's the thing. It's like half as much as Solo, but the marketing on this thing has been so expensive. It's probably a higher budget on the marketing than it was on the movie. So that's why they're saying 500, 600 million estimates to break even, because then the theaters take their cut and everything else. It's probably going to need at least 500 million to break even. I don't know if it's going to go that far. It's going to depend on word of mouth. But they're already, they're already like, well, it's okay if it doesn't break even. We'll make it back on Disney Plus, guys, and merchandise.
Well, that's what they said. Yeah. So this comes from the Guardian. It's all like, anti fan basically. So they're like, you need to go see the Mandalorian because you have to give Disney your money because you're bigots if you don't. But they said, despite serving as the next installment in Disney's popular streaming series Mandalorian, the Mandalorian and Grogu failed to match the opening weekend of even Disney's lowest grossing Star Wars film, Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Which is, if you adjust for inflation, it missed by a significant amount.
Yeah, well, they mentioned that because a lot of people aren't mentioning that. They're just looking at the dollar. That's like, oh my God, Mandalorian and Grogu made more money than Star Wars did in 1977.
Yeah,
it's wow. It's a huge hit.
I'm surprised the media wasn't running for stuff like that.
Solo also opened on Memorial Day weekend back in 2018 and took a disappointing 103 million at the box office, the equivalent of 136 million in 2026 when adjusted for inflation. Solo made 171 million globally in its opening weekend, which is way more than Mando. If you adjust it, they said if you adjust it for inflation now, it's 226 million internationally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about that before on other videos. That's one of the first things we brought up.
Yeah, Solo ended up making 392 million at the global box office, but was still considered a flop because of its enormous $275 million budget. Mando and Grogu, by comparison, may still be a success with the far more modest budget of 165 million.
No, not when you throw in the marketing, because the marketing is usually they say whatever the cost of the film is, double it, and that'll cover the marketing and the theater costs and stuff. Except the marketing for this, they have been everywhere. I mean, the only one I think has been marketing harder than them is the Masters of the Universe film. They have been marketing this to the tune of at least that much. People are estimating even, more than the budget of the film.
I don't know how Masters is I'm gonna be honest. Like, I love the I'm looking at the marketing
on it's amazing.
Go
guys, you're nailing it.
The song is by The Darkness. It sounds 80s. It looks 80s. I like Travis Knight. I think this is gonna be a case like Dungeons and Dragons, where it's a good movie that was destroyed early on by the people working on the movie who would not shut the hell up.
About masculinity,
and toxic masculinity.
I think the case of the matter, the fact of the matter is, I think what this is facing similar is that the brand doesn't really have a lot of positive. There's not a lot of recognition for one, and then two, like the ones you had the people that were all excited about Revolution and Revelation, and we know what happened there. So that already turns people off. But I think they're winning them back because it's exciting. Mandalorian and Grogu is too little, too late. Disney already has a reputation of ruining Star Wars. I'm sorry. They do. Everybody knows it. And even the fans they still had that they won back from Mandalorian and Grogu, they destroyed, between Obi-Wan and the little Leia show and the Book of Boba Fett and then season 3 of The Mandalorian. The ones they won back, they already turned off again. And even though if you kept nailing it on the Disney Plus shows, you could have won your people back, but you dropped the ball. You made it to season 2, and then you completely crapped the bed on everything else, and then acolyte. People just don't care anymore. They're just walking away. The only ones showing up for this movie are the people that really love The Mandalorian and Grogu, women who love Baby Yoda.
Women who love babies and want to take their boyfriends and husbands to go see a movie about a space baby, hoping they'll get all...
weirdos like Pedro Pascal for whatever reason.
And weirdos who like Pedro Pascal. People who want to see big, fat, gross slugs wrestle each other, and there's a kink for that. They not
that I've ever heard of, but okay.
I remember when they first dropped pictures of Rada the Hutt, and he's all roided out, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, he's so hot! Look at those! Look at that 8-pack!"
I don't see it. I'm sorry. He's a poorly CGI'd slug, and I'm sorry. Jabba the Hutt and his puppet form was sexier, and neither one are sexy because they're both slugs, and it's gross. I don't get what they keep saying. He's so sexy. I'm like, ew. I'm like, what do you consider sexy? I'm like, no, he's not.
I wanted to see him
He's not.
wanted to see him do like backflips and shit. Like he was like body flopping on people. I wanted to see him like just do a barrel roll, just like he did. He actually would go up in the air and like spill like a whale, and he just like breach.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, sure. When he flops on people, it's considered sexy. When I do it, it's called you're a land whale. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, he's a land whale. I'm so sexy.
I just don't see him being sexy part. Sorry.
This is okay. So this is, again, keep in mind, this comes from the Guardian. This is a far left outlet. We got this over here as headline: The Mandalorian and Grogu shows Star Wars is a cursed franchise on the big screen. They're saying Star Wars is cursed. And then right here, it's a sign of continuing Star Wars fatigue. So that's what we're calling it, Star Wars fatigue.
Well, I think it is Star Wars fatigue, but I think people are just over Disney Star Wars.
The Mandalorian and Grogu is the first Star Wars film to be released in cinemas since The Rise of Skywalker, when Disney execs put a hold on releasing new Star Wars movies after concluding they had released too many too quickly.
That wasn't why.
They were shit. The sequels were shit. And like back to the point about the Starfighter movie, if you tie that movie into the sequels, it's over, man. Like, I mean, you
that's
have
just a rumor, so I'm hoping that's not what they're doing.
I hope to God they're not that dumb.
You are screwed.
I hope they're not that dumb, but I'm like, that
they are that dumb though.
Tracks though, because why would you be taking a kid somewhere unless he's taking him to like Epstein's space island?
You have to remember too that Starfighter was made when Kathleen Kennedy was still there, and so was Bob Iger.
Yeah.
So
I think that would be the dumbest shit ever.
It would be the dumbest shit ever. People were saying in the comments, like, if you do that, you're like, why would you do that? That's stupid. And I'm like, because Kathleen Kennedy and Iger was still there then. And they were still pushing for there's going to be another Rey movie and everything else. And people didn't want it, and you don't hear about it now because they're probably waiting to tie it into Starfighter. And if they do that, it's colossally stupid.
It would be colossally stupid. So they're saying, yeah, Disney's already planning. Disney knew. I mean, nobody at Disney is shocked.
Trust me, Disney, they have tracking for their tracking for their tracking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not joking. Like, they literally have meetings about this for meetings, and they are on every pulse of everything, especially when it's like the big things like Marvel or Star Wars. They know what the box office estimates are better than anyone else. They are tracking it. That's why they're like, oh shit, it's not looking good. Ramp up the marketing.
Yes.
You know, that's why they do it, because they know better than anyone how bad this is going to flop. They're well aware. They were expecting it. But I don't think the toys are selling either.
No. I don't know. I went to the one Walmart and they had so Star Wars has been relegated to cardboard kiosk status.
Yes.
It used to be.
There's a little place in the pegs, but like this is a cardboard.
We used to have an entire aisle of Star Wars, right? When we were kids, we had an aisle of Star Wars, and even into the 90s and early 2000s, you still had a sizable Star Wars section. Then after The Force Awakens, after The Last Jedi, that was the end of it. When Solo came out, there were hardly any toys for it. When Rise of Skywalker came out, it was a pop-up. It was like a cardboard kiosk with not just Rise of Skywalker figures, but also original trilogy stuff. So that's kind of where Mando and Grogu is, where they had a pop-up and they had plushies and they had some figures and stuff like that. But like, Hasbro's not wasting the money to be like, let's make a bunch of big ass vehicles and which are going.
They got tired of supplying ollies.
Pretty much, like, yeah. So they're like, okay, we'll put some figures out. We'll put a couple of things out, some plushies out, stuff we know is going to go. But the days of there being a massive Star Wars aisle with, Falcon toys and X-Wings and all that shit's over. But stuff's so expensive. Like the damn Ahsoka, her Starfighter on sale at Walmart, and it was for 4-inch figures. It was $65. I'm like,
clearance.
What happened to the $15 X-Wings? It's like the vehicles were affordable. I about fell on my chair. I was looking at G.I. Joe figure prices the other day from the 80s, and the big ass vehicles were like $30, $40.
Well, with inflation, it's like 100 and something probably.
Well, still, but it's, it's crazy. Now it's $80 for a popcorn bucket, but they said, Hollywood Trades report Disney believes the film will hold up at the box office over coming weekends due to positive audience scores.
There's other things coming out. June is loaded with films. Packed. Now it's hit or miss, like, what's going to do well. Like, I don't think Supergirl Supergirl's going to do great. Sorry. And
you're not allowed to say that.
Oh, you're not allowed
to say that. You're a Nazi.
I heard someone saying that was tracking close to the Marvels. I don't know if that's true.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look into it more.
I don't expect to do that bad, but that's.
I don't know, but I was gonna look into it more because I just saw it in passing. I haven't had time to look and see what the actual tracking is. Don't quote me on that. But I was like, what? So I have to look into it. But I'm just saying I don't think it's gonna do great. And then you have He-Man coming, and then you have, it'd be funny if He-Man took out Star Wars. And then you have, like, Toy Story's coming next month, isn't it? Toy Story 5.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be.
Is it next month? I think it is.
Yeah, I think the end of the month. So, yeah, I think what's going to happen with this one is the big Star Wars fans went and saw it on IMAX. Like we said before, it's not terrible. It's a 2-hour episode of the show. If you want to see a 2-hour episode of The Mandalorian on the big screen, there are worse movies out there. Like, but I don't know if it's going to hold up.
Yeah, it comes out. Toy Story comes out on June 19th.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think you're going to be able. I don't think you're going to be able to compete. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to. You're so much competition, even from yourself, that I think that it's going to get buried quick. Now I think that good word of mouth will help it some, but I think most people are just going to wait for it's on Disney Plus because is it another episode, like another season of the show? Yes. It is. I'm sorry. People getting pissed at me saying it. It is. It might be better. It has a little bit more budget behind it a little bit, but it's basically the show continued.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is what it is. We got to wrap this up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.